In this video, I'll explain the brain science behind why smart people believe dumb stuff. The amygdala, this is our old brain. It is the brain's emotional center. It triggers fight or flight responses. Whenever it senses a threat based on belief, it can make us feel anxious or angry, and this can lead to what's known as defensive processing. The prefrontal cortex, it's the rational thinker. The prefrontal cortex handles reasoning and decision-making. When the amygdala is overreactive, it can override rational thinking. This causes us to reject facts and cling to beliefs, no matter how absurd. The result is something known as defensive processing, or in other words, how our brains protect our misbeliefs. What exactly is defensive processing? It's our brain's way of shielding us from the discomfort of challenging our beliefs. Here's how it works. First, there's a trigger. You read something, whether it's a Facebook post or a news story, that contradicts your belief. The emotional response sets in, and the amygdala perceives it as a threat, and it triggers an emotional response. The result is defensive reaction. To avoid discomfort, the prefrontal cortex rationalizes why the information must be wrong, even without critically evaluating. This happens on a subconscious level. This process can lead us to dismiss facts, ignore evidence, and even create elaborate justifications to maintain our current beliefs. It's not about the truth of the information, but about our brain protecting our emotional state. It happens in our beliefs about relationships, our beliefs about our sense of self-worth, political beliefs, religious beliefs, science beliefs. It gives importance to emotions like anger, jealousy, fear, or depression, and we act on whatever we believe. Unfortunately, our brains are wired for self-protection rather than factual analysis in many cases. Here's another example of defensive processing. Imagine you've always believed that your views on a particular issue, let's say it's a political belief, are widely accepted by everyone. You've grown up in a community where everyone shares the same opinion, and your social media feed is filled with like-minded people. This is known as an echo chamber. One day, you come across a news article or you meet someone who challenges this belief. They present strong evidence that contradicts everything you thought you knew about the subject. But what happens next? This is where defensive processing kicks in. First, the trigger. You read the article that contradicts your long-held political belief. Then, the emotional response. Your amygdala perceives this new information as a threat. It triggers a feeling of anxiety and discomfort. This is followed by the defensive reaction. To avoid these uncomfortable emotions, our prefrontal cortex jumps in to rationalize why the information must be wrong, often without critically evaluating it. This process can lead you to dismiss the new evidence, ignore the facts, consider an alternative position, learn something new, and it creates elaborate justifications to maintain your current belief. You might think this source is biased, or they don't fully understand the big picture. But the science tells us it's not about the truth of the information, but about protecting our emotional state. Why do otherwise smart people cling to fantasy? Why do we sometimes prefer to stick with our existing beliefs, even if they're based on false information? It's because fantasy often aligns with our desires and avoids the discomfort of challenging our beliefs. Those can be social, cultural, religious, or even emotional comforts. Second, our beliefs are tied to our identity, and changing them can make us feel like we're losing a part of ourselves. Third, we hate being an outsider, and believing in certain fantasies can strengthen our bonds with like-minded communities, and it can also alienate us from other communities. In fact, many communities exist simply because of the common bond of false belief. This is why cult members believe everyone else is in a cult, and they're not. You see, when everyone around you believes the same thing, it's easier to stick to those beliefs, even if they are not based on a shred of fact. So next time you encounter information that challenges your beliefs, remember this example. Take a moment to pause and reflect, and to critically evaluate new information. It's an essential step towards breaking out of the echo chamber and embracing a more informed perspective. Thanks for watching. If you found this video on brain science helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the button for more insights and fascinating ideas related to psychology and neuroscience. I'm Dr. Richard Nongard. Let's keep thinking and learning together.